Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. It's the data dump day. We're doing decks of the week, finding out what's succeeding in the Pauper online leagues and what are the spiciest decks that you can see in the 5-0 dumps. Before we get into it, remember to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought about this video. Also, check out the patreon.com sideboard guides at patreon.com/Kalikaiz. You can also get early access to videos by joining the YouTube page in the membership section. Working to be at least a week ahead, but we want to stay current, so that's where we are right now. If you like this, just let me know. Let me know what you think about this kind of thing. So let's go ahead and get into the details. So this past week from August 3rd through the 9th, we saw 155 trophies, which is down from the previous week. Previous week we had 173. This week we had 155. I think this might be related to Pauper no longer being a showcase format, so that ending may have driven some of the grinders out of the format. I'm not sure. It's sort of disappointing, but that is what it is. So as far as the actual metagame that occurred, Mono Red back on top at 20% of the trophies. Now the Mono Red is combined with Pinger, Rally Burn, and Mono Red Madness. So down here I have broken them out. Mono Red Madness Burn was a little over 2/3 of the total trophies. Ping Burn had 1 trophy, and then Rally Burn was about a little under 1/3 of those trophies. So that means that 15% of the metagame is Mono Red Madness Burn. And we look back at the previous weeks, we had Spike. Mono Red was high, Spy was coming up, Spy kind of overtook, and then Spy going down 12%, and now Spy is down to 9%. I think what's going on is people are very much teching versus the Spy deck, but there's only so much teching you can do versus the Mono Red, and maybe some things will be on the rise. So we see Gardens here rising. It didn't see it, so it was 3.5% previously, basically non-existent before that. So I think what's going on is that this Gardens deck is able to main deck a lot of hate for the Mono Red Madness deck. They've got tons and tons of life gain. They've got anti-graveyard to keep your snackers from being useful. And the deck really relies on all of that. So I guess that is sort of like pushing down the Mono Red Madness Burn. Actual Madness Burn, so the Red-Black Madness Burn, only at 5%. Really basically non-existent in the metagame. Otherwise, we have Mono Blue Terror here at 9%. Then Elves. Walls combo sort of rising. Previously non-existent on the metagame chart almost entirely. I don't know what the Rise and Walls combo has been, because in my opinion it's very, very weak to Mono Red, but it's probably good for Spy, Terror, and Elves. So I guess like 30% of the metagame here it's pretty good against, meaning that it's actually getting a decent amount of trophies. Apis 72, I believe. Apis was able to trophy 3 times in the beginning of the week, and then a couple other pilots trophied following his exact list. So maybe it's some luck, maybe Apis will tell us in the comments what is the reason that Walls is now better positioned, or was at least for the previous week. We have John Wildfire here, some Flickertron, some Altertron. Interestingly, it's funny, the Flickertron and the Altertron both had 5 trophies, so I guess people are not deciding, or there are people that are specifically piloting just one thing. So let's go ahead and get into some of the trophies. We want to check out, like, well, I guess here's the Walls combo deck. So Wolf 777 piloted it. This was the day that they trophied. And then prior to that, Apis had a trophy 3 days in a row, on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. So 2 other players started playing it on the next day, and both of them trophied. We have a new card, Beast Rider Vanguard from... What is this from? Let's see. Beast Rider Vanguard from DFT, Aether Drift. Okay. So they're starting to play Beast Rider Vanguard in the deck as a 2-of, as a way to basically draw their entire deck once they have the infinite. And let's see, Vine Trellis. It's a different type of wall. Add 1 green. Don't notice anything else out of the ordinary. Pretty much the combo deck. They have a Crystal Grotto in the main deck. A single Mirror Shell Crab that you can sometimes use as a counterspell. They have Mesmeric Fiends. Also, maybe the Standard Bear being not bugged anymore can help the Walls deck. That's interesting. So moving up, we have two interesting lists, kind of spicy. Maybe they should be a little bit spicier, but these are Boros synth versions, putting Cryo Relic into the deck. So this is a Wildfire Jeskai synth, basically, not playing Synthesizer, instead playing Cryogen Relic. And they also have a couple of Metallic Rebukes in the main deck. Just like Glenhawk or Skyfisher on the Cryo is very, very strong, drawing tons of cards. Every time I play this, I end up with too many cards in hand, having to discard to hand size. So this other player, Overium, played, I believe this was Lost on Kato's deck, but this is playing 4-color Boros synth. So the Synthesizer gone, the Cryo, that comes in. They also have Refurbished Familiar, which is another thing you can pick up and put down, and 4 Prophetic Prisms as a way to try and fix the mana base, which somehow this actually does quite well, and they were able to get through it. In the sideboard, they've got Navigator's Compass for life gain and Hydro Blast, more counter spells. They've got Pyre Blast, Dust to Dust, and I guess if you're on a rainbow land all the time, this is actually pretty good. Parkland Shaman plus Toxin in the main decks is solid. I wanted to point out an Elves 5-0 from Wool 777. So this one is playing mono green, which is, from my understanding, much more straightforward and able to get things done like right away. Just have more 1-drop elves that are going to do things. But they have, 4 Mass Vandals in the main deck. In the sideboard, they've got 4 Pulse of Marasa. I'm wondering specifically if this is for Spy, because you can return the target of the Dread Return. They also have Heritage Reclamation, which can destroy an artifact or enchantment or exile a card from the graveyard and draw a card. So that also works versus Spy. There's V2 Ghazi Inspector as a way to try to like tempo out or gain a bit of life against the burn decks. And then 2 of Thermokarst, which when I saw was very confused about. The only way that they can put this in their hand is by just naturally drawing it. There are creatures that you could put in your deck that would destroy a land instead, so maybe they would want to play that. All right, so the next deck is an Altertron by Bernas Torres. So this has kind of become the de facto Altertron deck. 4 Mirror Retriever, 2 Kinsmith, 4 Pact Altair in the main deck. They have 4 Viscer's Insight and 4 Malevolent Rumble as their card draw spells. They are not playing Cryogen Relic, but they are playing 2 Ichor Wellsprings and 2 Nile Spellbombs in the main deck. Very much focused on trying to beat, I guess, Terror and also Spy. 4 Pyroblast and 2 Last Rites to beat the High Tide deck. We've got a Braid, Weather. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but I just want to point out this is kind of the new version of the deck. So here I have a Familiar's Trophy that I managed to accomplish. This is playing Cryogen Relic as a 4 of and 3 Ghostly Flickers. Because when you Ghostly Flicker the Cryogen Relic and you draw 2 cards, or even 2 of them to draw 4 cards, it is bonkers. It's also a way to kind of give your this deck a little bit of stall power by sacrificing it to stun a creature. So moving up, another interesting take on a deck. So Boundaries Blurred has been playing Madness Burn, which here it probably looks pretty normal, but they have 4 Rite of Flame in the main deck. This is a 1-mana ritual that you can also discard to discard spells and get moving faster. In order to fit it, they took the 2 flex slots for 2 Rite of Flames and cut 1 Kessig and 1 Fire Blast. I've been trying this out. It's kind of hit or miss for me, but I think it's probably a playstyle thing, and congratulations to them on the trophy. We have Mono Black Sacrifice. I didn't point this out last week, but Mono Black got a new card in Peregrine Beckoner. When it enters, until end of turn, a creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains when it dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, and you can warp it for 1 and a black. So this is a very similar effect to Supernatural Stamina. And if you have 2 of these, which I guess they're not trying to do here, but if you have a Beckoner and you warp another Beckoner, they can target each other. You can sacrifice one and sacrifice the other because they both keep coming back and pointing at each other. And then you get an infinitely sized Carrion Feeder, infinite sack outlets, which is kind of cool. This person's playing a Singleton Dark Ritual and a Singleton Rotten Reunion. Only 6 draw spells and 2 Rite of Consumptions to end the game. Sideboard looks pretty stock to me. Moving up, we have a Tron deck, Flicker Tron this time, by Raptor56. This person is very, very good at playing Tron. They were the trophy leader just playing Tron. And here you can see that there's no creatures to attack and win the game with. Some decks have been playing Mycetian Elder to flicker that and get more value and just end the game. But it looks like he is just planning on hitting the opponent with Rolling Thunder a couple of times. But he doesn't even have the combo of Unwind, Rolling Thunder, although it's not really something you could easily get done here. They are choosing not to play Expedition Map and instead playing 3 crop rotations. So their plan is just stall, 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 dome me with Rolling Thunder, get it back. That seems hard. I would definitely time out playing that deck. One of the newer decks in the format, now that we're getting onto the spiciness, is Demir Abjure or Demir Control. So this is a list that Double P played. We have Refurbished Familiar, of course, because that's a great control deck card. Some Blood Fountains to get it back. They have Kenku Artificer, and they have 3 Abjures. So this can sacrifice your cryogen relic, which makes it into a cryptic command. 1 mana cryptic command is pretty good. And then they can also sacrifice the Kenku because you don't really need it once it's on the table and you make something big. They have Metallic Rebuke in the main deck, and Harvest Evidence is another card to sacrifice. This is more artifact based. I think this one that's coming up, we have the Modern Age instead. So this person's not, this is an artifact based version. This is a version that I've seen Barf playing. It's not playing artifacts, instead playing Sneaky Snacker, Modern Age, Cryogen Relic. So there's 4 things to sacrifice, 4 Hard Evidence, and 2 Archaeologists. So that's 18 things you can sacrifice to Abjure. So they have 4 Abjure and 4 counterspells in their main deck. 8 main deck counterspells. Oh, it's such a mean deck. It feels like they can counter literally anything you do. 4 cast down, 2 snuff outs, tons of card draw with Eviscerator's Insight and Lorien Revealed. I'm going to have to try this one, but I feel like it's going to take a long time to accomplish the league. It's very, very strong. So here comes the spice. Let's, okay, we're going to go for Simic Terror. It's pretty funny. They are playing Mono Blue Terror with 4 Malevolent Rumble, 4 Grapple with the Past, and they've got Monstrous Emergence. Apparently this is from Duskmourn. As an additional cost to cast a spell, choose a creature you control or reveal a creature card. Deals damage equal to the power of the creature you chose to the target creature. So you can have your terror in your hand and blast something. They have Bite Down on Crime. What does that do? You can collect evidence. Costs 2 less to cast if evidence was collected, so be 1 in the green. Target creature you control gets, so it's another bite spell. So they're just using, and then they have Applied Biomancy. Return target creature's owner's hand. Creature gets +1/+1. So I guess instead of playing Thought Scour, they're playing stuff like Grapple with the Past and Malevolent Rumble, so that when they do mill a terror, they can get it back. They have 4 Terror, 2 Serpent, and 4 Delver. And in the sideboard, they have some life gain with V2 Gaussian Spectre. Very macabre that you can pick up off your Rumbles and Grapples. That's kind of sweet. Here's a Simic Ponza. Ishinez managed to trophy with this. I actually just posted a video with it a day or 2 ago. And this has the standard Ponza stuff with Thermokarst, Acid Moss. But they're playing Cryo Relic, which you can use Abjure to sacrifice and counter opponents' things. Or you can pick it up with Sticky Tongue Sentinel. And the real spice is playing Reality Acid in the deck. You put it on something, and then you pick it up with the Sticky Tongue, or you sacrifice it to Abjure. It says, when it leaves the battlefield, Enchanted Permanent's controller sacrifices it. You actually can kill a bridge this way, which I didn't know during the league. And then the spiciest deck of the week, it's got to give it to Slivers by Gandy Hands. This is green-white Slivers with 1 Blade Black Sliver in the sideboard. And Holdout Settlement to splash. I guess Thriving Heath as well. And the cool thing is they're playing a bunch of Rebirths, Jolted Awake, and Recommission to get their creatures back. And they have Winding Way to draw and lead the Stampede. This deck is pretty cool. Just slamming in, trying to get it done. Alright, well, congratulations to the Sliver player. If there was a deck that I missed in this, or if there was something that stood out to you that I didn't talk about, let me know. If you're hyped to play some Slivers, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.